Hi there folks, this is Jet Low of Edit on a Dime at editing.wonderhowto.com. It's the community for low-cost and inexpensive video, audio, and image editing apps. Today I'm going to show you a couple tools that YouTube has. They're both video editors in their own way that can really improve the quality of your work and allow you to construct short films. So let's get started and take a look. First I'm going to go to the video manager, and this is the new look, by the way, for YouTube. It's much cleaner, it's easier to use, and I would argue that the comments on YouTube should increase in civility and quality with this new design. I think bad design provokes bad acting, but we'll see if that's true. That's my little theory. Let's take a look at the two editors. There's one right here, the video editor. That's very clear. But there's also each individual clip has their own editor. And we'll look at that first because they have overlapping functionality, but you want to use, when you're fixing your videos, you want to use the one that's in the individual clips first, and I'll show you why. So we'll go to Enhancement. Okay, and here we have a viral video of a concrete buffer spinning out of control. Oh, the laughs and the hilarity. And this is fine, but as you can see, it looks like it was shot on a cell phone, so the image is shaky a bit. Luckily, YouTube has this great stabilize feature. So you notice I'll click on stabilize, and what it'll do is stabilize the image. So notice that the camera is moving around on the left, but now on the right, it is not. And the way it does this is it's actually blowing up the image, so it's creating a buffer around it, as it were, to actually stabilize the image. And this works extremely effectively. Now you're going to lose a little bit of resolution, but I think it really you gain so much by having the image now stable. So that's great if you don't have a tripod. In March 2011, Google bought a company, Green Parrot, out of Ireland, that specialized in this kind of enhancement, and it looks like they're beginning to incorporate these tools now into their editors. So there's other stuff as well. In addition to stabilize, you've got the I'm feeling lucky button, which is going to adjust the color and saturation and sharpness. As you see, it's a little sharper on the right, it's a little bit brighter. I don't really think that's great. So let's actually manually make some changes. As you'll see, you've got a variety of tools here. Let's go through them quickly. You've got a fill light, and that's a photographic term. What a fill light does is, when you're taking a photograph, is it's a flash, or it's not really a flash, it's a special light that will fill in the shadows on a subject, which is used a lot for portraits. And as you can see, it's really brightening the image here. We can adjust the fill light higher or lower. It's not necessary on this video, but it is necessary on a lot of people are shooting at parties or late at night, what have you. So we'll turn that off. There's the classic contrast. You can adjust the contrast of the video, either low contrast, which will make it look really washed out, as you can see, or high contrast, which will be very light and very dark. And saturation, this is just the color if you really want to brighten up the image, or make it black and white, like that. And of course, nowadays, with computers being so powerful, a lot of cameras are doing this kind of stuff in-house, as it were. So the iPhone 4S has its own stabilization feature, and I haven't tried it yet, so I can't compare it to the one that's used here in YouTube. An interesting thing, though, is that if you are planning to use these features, is that you can anticipate them, meaning that you can shoot your footage with an extra edge around it, as it were. Give yourself more room around the subject to allow it to be blown up for the stabilization feature. And finally, a great tool here is the color temperature button. And what does that mean? Well, a lot of people don't know that actually light comes in different colors. Light looks different to our brains at night, let's say under a fluorescent light, than it does during dawn. But our brains are so powerful that we don't notice this change in color because it's changing. Our brains are adapting to it. But cameras can't do that, so we have to manually, or sometimes use a bit of software, to change the color temperature. So for instance, at night things will look very blue, and so you want to warm them up, and vice versa. And this can be a fun little tool to actually make your videos look like you're shot at a different time of day. So if you notice, if I lower the color temperature, now it looks like the video on the right was shot early in the morning versus the original, which was shot in the day. So that's actually a very powerful tool. There's also a trim button here, and this allows you to trim, which is to set the in and out points of your video. And once you do this, it's going to change your video. If you hit the save button, it's going to change the video. Even if you already have the video on YouTube and it's been seen, let's say, thousands of times, it's going to change that original video. If you don't want to change the original video, you can do a save as. There's also, I'm done with those trims. There's also effects. These are your standard, let's have some fun and make it look like a toy camera kind of thing. So look on the right, it looks like it was shot with a Lomo camera, which is a funky old camera from back in the day, or you can give it a cartoon look. Usually I'd say shy away from these kind of things, as everybody does this. You can be more subtle by doing the quick fixes yourself. And you can also add audio tracks as well. Google supplies ones that you have the rights to use. Okay, so that's the individual video editor. Let's now go and look at how we can piece clips together using the video editor. So we'll click, let's say you've already made all your color corrections and things like that. You can go to the video editor, and on the right hand side here in this box you'll see all of your videos populated. And what's interesting here is that it will also include videos that are unlisted. And then down here you've got your timeline, and over here you've got your preview window. So the idea here is that you can take your various clips, combine them together, and hey, make a little movie, add transitions, what have you. So we've got your clips, captions, music, transitions, and titles. So the transitions, you can add fades or fancy star effects, which again I would recommend never using unless it's a children's birthday party. And we'll add another clip here. So this is a very basic timeline, and this is kind of a cool tool to sort of teach you the absolute basics of video editing, what it is, which is basically film video is linear, which means it's one thing after another. So that's what films are composed of, one clip after another with transitions in between. So if we preview some of this, so you'll see there I am sitting on my porch. The camera is shaky. But we'll skip ahead a little bit here. Skip ahead, it's about 4 minutes 19 until we've got a transition. A little bit later. So there I am watching a video, and what I've done here is I've put our shaky cam, our concrete buffer video, right after it with the dissolve. So let's take a look at how that works. We'll skip ahead just a little bit. That's me running. So there you go. And it will dissolve into there. So it's pretty crude, but you get the idea. We can take a look here. Let's see. So here we've got the video playing out, and now we've got the star transition, which again, children's birthday parties, please. These transitions, they all have the ability to alter their length. The default is 2 seconds, and you can change the direction of the transition. So that would be whether the star, for instance, is coming in or out, widening out or coming back in. Okay, well, this is all fun and games, you might say, but really it is pretty crude. It's pretty simple. It looks like it's more for creating compilations of videos. So you can take your favorite videos you have on YouTube and combine them together to make one large one. And that's true, but actually there's an interesting workaround that you can use to make something that's a little more sophisticated. And here's what I mean. Let's say you've got a video, you want to have a medium shot, and you want to have a close-up, and you might want to have a reverse shot of some action. Well, the way this is designed, you'd have to upload every single one of those clips individually, which could really be a hassle, but there is a workaround, and I'll show you what that is. Let me just get rid of these first of all. What you can do is shoot so as to put all of your different shots, your medium shots, your close-up shots, your reverses, what have you, do that all in one long take, and then use the video editor to just trim them and put them together, assemble them together. I'll show you what I mean. So I've made one video here. It's 4 minutes and 19 seconds long, but it's not designed to be seen in that entirety. As you see here, I'm sitting on the stoop, and the story idea here is that I'm trying to watch something on YouTube on my iPad, but my dog Nora keeps interrupting us. So as you can see here, there I'm looking at the iPad, there's Nora, but you'll also notice there's a variety of different shots. There's Nora playing, running around, there's a closer shot of me, there's more of a close-up, and then there's a reverse of me watching the YouTube video, and of me throwing the little toy for the dog, and then me running away to play with her. And the idea here is that we can combine all these shots, even though it's one clip, to actually make a movie. So we've got the original shot here, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to trim this, and we'll start off there. And here's the trimming tools. Very easy handles to open and close or grab the in and out points. It is cruder, of course, than more expensive programs. More expensive being, of course, this is free. As you see, you can nudge the trimming tools by a few frames at a time, give you something a little bit more granular, as it were. Okay, so let's say we have the original shot here. I like that shot. Then I'm going to take the same clip and put it down here, but this time pick a different shot. So now I want, let's say, a shot perhaps of her looking at the iPad. And we'll just pick these like that, and we'll save. And now let's do another one. We'll take the same piece of video, but we'll select a different shot from this one long take. So we'll go here. Let's say if close-up of me looking at that. This does not cut together that well, but it just gives you an example of the technique. And we'll do a final shot of me running around. Let's say here at the end where I'm playing with the dog. So what do we have here? Well, what we've got is a short film with 4 different cuts, 4 different shots, but all made from one clip. And again, this is just a simple workaround. I'll skip ahead here to save time. This is just a simple workaround to show you how you can construct a movie from just one clip without having to go through the laborious process of uploading the clips individually. Now you may notice here there are tools in addition to the trim. Well, you can rotate the images. That's if your friend who's shooting the video perhaps shot the images with the camera in portrait mode rather than horizontally. You can add text, which is very crude. There's only large, small, medium, and very basic colors. But you can do it. Here's me and iPad, right? Okay. And there we go. Large, medium, small. We'll save that. And look at this. There are enhancement tools. Now this is a strange thing in the sense that these are not the same tools that you have in the other video editor. There's brightness and contrast, there is the feeling lucky, there's black and white, and there's a stabilized video as well. Interestingly enough, they give you control for how stable you want to make it, which the other video does not have. We can preview the effects side by side as we could in the other editor as well. And I don't know why they haven't combined these yet. I'm assuming they're going to. We are going to a future where you can imagine you press one button and it will stabilize, color correct, sharpen, do all those kind of things. But for right now, I'd recommend doing those enhancements in the individual clips beforehand, before you get into this editor. We won't wait for that to render, as that gives you a lot more control. Okay, that's it for now. Again, these are very simple tools, but I don't know why anybody who's making short videos for YouTube should not use them. They'll make your stuff look so much more professional, even if it's just a simple talking to the camera or you're recording some wacky example of technology gone wrong. I appreciate you guys listening. I hope you enjoyed this. And don't forget, please, to visit Edit on a Dime at editing.wonderhowto.com. I've been Jet Low. Thanks a lot, guys.